It's time for Losses Above Replacement, the best baseball podcast to grace your ears, with your hosts, Alex.
Gosh, I have so many questions. Also, where's my car?
Splash.
Strive to love something as much as my grandmother loves buying new crock pots.
And Mac.
If you've ever been to Boston, you know that they have amazing ice cream.
Coming to you from coast to coast, it's L-A-R.
Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, bozos and bozettes, we are in the doldrums of the off-season. The MVP has been decided. Sorry, Alex. Free agency hasn't quite heated up yet. We did get one move, and we got a weird trade between two of the, I'll call them lol cows of Major League Baseball nowadays. We will discuss that. We will discuss Big Grumper returning to the Pacific Northwest, not joining the Portland Pickles, unfortunately, but we will discuss. But first of all, Mac, Alex, how are we guys doing?
I mean, doing pretty good. For those of you that have been watching the video versions of this podcast, know that my title for my name was getting different each and every week that the Seattle had not signed him, going from please sign Josh Naylor to pretty please stop re-signing Josh Naylor, and now that they did, now it just says thank you. Honestly, yeah, when the news, I was not sure if it was going to happen here. Also, family kept getting these fake articles saying that he had signed, and of course weren't real. And then when it finally did actually hit, I was actually with a friend, and I audibly gasped. So, good signs.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm waiting for the Mets to start doing things. The first move they made this offseason was releasing Frankie Montas, which I am a big David Stearns fan, but that is one that I think he'd like to have back. But yeah, I'm doing the same old. I'm racing this weekend, so looking forward to that. Got Thanksgiving coming up, obviously, so I have some family coming to town. But yeah, I'm doing all right. In a couple weeks, I'll be going to Colorado to help my sister move back to New York. So yeah, just chilling and waiting for this offseason to take off a little more. Although this week we started the stove started to heat up, I'd say.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, they started cooking, if you will. So, Alex, I'm going to make an assumption some of those articles your family saw were AI.
Honestly, it's very possible.
Okay. AI is ruining sports.
They're all over Facebook.
It's ruining sports. It's every time it's Mookie Betts gives back to his high school teacher, or this business that he went to when he was in high school, and then it gets the high school he went to wrong or the city he lives in wrong. Like, AI is the worst thing that has happened to sports, and it is one of the worst things that has happened to politics. It is there are uses, but it really degrades the quality of life as someone who engages in as much sports conversations as I do. If I had $1 for every time I saw the Grok, whatever the Twitter bot is,
Grok, oh god,
or the
it's
AI
terrible.
assistant on Google, it's atrocious. With sports, It's even worse.
Yeah.
There's sometimes, fair enough. Like, I've used it to make like menus, like a grocery order, make a menu for the week.
That's fair. Yeah.
That's cool. Or like workout plans, or ask it to, I don't know, for ideas. Like, I've used that before. Mm-hmm. But for sports stuff, it stinks. For politics, it stinks. And for anything serious, it stinks. So there's off my soapbox. Let's go to the land of the Space Needle. Josh Naylor is back in Seattle with the Mariners, the AL runner-ups. So, Alex, we'll go to you first. How do you feel about the Canadian staying in Seattle?
This is a huge move for Seattle for a few reasons. Obviously, yeah, you want to have a good first baseman. Obviously, who doesn't? But this is something that Seattle has been needing to do for a while, and that is to break the narrative of we don't care or we're not going to spend. They just spent on a guy that they traded for at the deadline here, signing him for, get this again, 5 years, only $92.5 million. A lot of the projections I saw had him going for about 120 here on this. And so getting him at 95 and on top of it, in year one, only being 10 million here to help with signing more in the offseason is huge. I think that this is a great signing just to break the narrative of Seattle's not going to try, because they have now seen what happens when you actually do go out and make big moves. Here, go back to 2022. They did some big move getting some guy named Luis Castillo here. I don't know. He's been all right, I think.
You do have to specify the Luis Castillo.
Yes, Luis
Yeah,
M.
there's
Castillo.
3 Luis.
Thank
Okay,
you.
I was gonna say there's been 3 Luis Castillos. So.
Yeah, Luis M. Castillo La Piedra, whereas Luis S. Castillo is the Pebble. So from there, yeah. Then in 2025, here going and getting both Josh Naylor and Eugenio Suarez, also Caleb Ferguson. We're not talking about that though. And you, in both of those years, the one thing that was the comment, you made the playoffs. So seeing them actually committing to it, and on top of it, saying from the word go that their number one priority was to re-sign Josh Naylor, and accomplishing that feat, not just in 2026, not just in December before the new year, in November, they got down their number one priority here before Thanksgiving. That is huge, because then it gives you more time to be able to work for more different teams, being able to work for more players here, trying to figure out what you're overall doing. And honestly, this, like, we're showing the payroll here on screen right now. First year is 11.3 million, so I was a little bit off on the 10 million. But this is for the prime of a very, very good first baseman. Josh Naylor, I don't think is too hard to say, is probably in the top 5, maybe top 10 first baseman in all of baseball right now. I would say that's not too far of a stretch here.
Okay, maybe not top 5. I
top
can get
10
with
though,
top
for
10.
sure.
Top
Yeah.
10, definitely. Top 5 is a debate. But at that point here still, you did what you needed to, and you did, even more importantly, what you said you're gonna do. Here, you said, all right, our top priority is re-signing Josh Naylor. Within a week, they've re-signed Josh Naylor. Very nice. It shows that, okay, now you can actually start making other moves now. So for Seattle now, next step is to re-sign some of your other core here, like you've also been talking about. But when the news of Naylor broke here, officially not through AI, it was, I was extremely happy. It was wait, they're actually doing it? Like, wait, they actually did it? I was flabbergasted in the best possible way. My guests were flabbered.
And really, to me, I just had a feeling there was no way they were going to let him walk.
Mm-hmm.
You look at him, how he had embraced the city despite being there for only a couple months. I mean, I remember, I think when I went to that game, he was only been on the team for 2 weeks. So, but I could tell he was like a huge fan favorite already. Even stealing bags, he stole 30 bags this year, 19 of them. 19, if I'm not mistaken, 19 for 19 as a Mariner. He had a great postseason too, specifically the ALCS. He went 10 for 24 with 3 home runs. And, Cal Raleigh said that Josh Naylor was the most valuable person in the clubhouse. And the crazy thing is, Josh Naylor is actually younger than Cal Raleigh.
That's so weird to think.
Josh doesn't turn 29 until June. Cal turns 29 this week. It really does speak volumes, though, about how well regarded he is in the clubhouse. And that's the thing, is that you remember back at the beginning of the season, the Mariners extended Cal Raleigh for 6 years. They've already extended Julio Rodriguez. Now they have Naylor locked in for 5 years. And at a reasonable deal, I fully expected him to get 9 figures. And by the way, shout out to the Pirates for offering him $80 million, apparently. Didn't have that on my bingo card. Apparently they're in on Kyle Schwarber too. But yeah, this is a win for Naylor. It's a win for the Mariners. And this is the start of what could be a great offseason for Seattle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you can have your quibbles with signing a first baseman into his 30s. That's fine. We can be fair. But he really means a lot to the city, the team. Like you've said, with Cal embracing him, the city embracing him, and he's a really good player. He actually hit at T-Mobile Park. As a Mariner, he had a 138 OPS plus. That'll play. He is a different archetype for the Mariners. So we generally, when we discuss the Mariners, we talk about the power, particularly with Cal, but you also have Julio, Eugenio Suarez. It's a very power-oriented team, and at times it's been very, very high power, very high strikeout. Well, Naylor is different. He's a different archetype of player, which is funny because he is a first baseman. So there's that. But he steals bases. It's the Kyle Tucker method. It's the Juan Soto method that he's not fast, but he picks his spots really well. Like Max said, he was 11 for 11 on steals with Seattle, 30 for 32 across the whole season.
19 for 19 with Seattle.
It's 19.
What did I say?
You said 11.
Oh. So he had 11 with Arizona, but
my bad. My bad. Wrong way. Okay, anyways, 30 to 32 overall, 19 for 19 with Seattle. Solid defensive first baseman. There's ebbs and flows. He was really good with Seattle. He was not very good with Arizona. I don't know. Maybe that's I don't know why that is, but good hitter, good base runner, solid enough fielder. You can have concerns when he's into his mid-30s. That's fine, but I think he's a guy that will safely be a 25 double, 25 homer, kind of like call it 160 plus runs and RBI combined, 800 OPS, give or take, hit 280, hit 290. This is a good bat, and Seattle needs as many good bats as they can have. When you have the MVP runner-up, you have Julio's the best center fielder in baseball. You have other talented players, but having that different sort of flavor in your lineup, I think, will help out a lot, and that can be the difference between advancing in the playoffs over and over. Like Naylor had a 967 OPS in the playoffs, and that can be the difference, and just giving a different wrinkle and something that when you face Tarek Skubal again next year, you face Garrett Crochet, or you face, heaven forbid, Garrett Cole or Hunter Brown or these other aces, it gives you that different angle that this guy is not a guy that's going to strike out very much. In the playoffs, he struck out just 6 times in 51 plate appearances. That's really good for the season, at least with the Mariners. His strikeout rate was just 16%. That's much better than the league average. And just the different angle I like for Seattle. I like that they're bringing in a different archetype of player. And I'm a fan of the move.
Mm-hmm. One of the things I want to bring up here, especially when it comes to Naylor and the Mariners, is that Seattle proved in 2025 here that getting players to help round out your team is not only important, it's vital. And I could bring it to this with a couple of moments here. There was a moment near the end of the season where Seattle had bases loaded and you were down. Naylor came up, hits a double into left center field here, and clears the bases. Seattle wins it in the 9th here in a pivotal game. Then later on, you have Game 5 of the ALCS here in Seattle, and after being down for most of the game, Cal hits the tying home run, but then another man comes up to the plate and hits the slam. Not just the grand slam, the slam. That man was Eugenio Suarez, who you also got during the trade deadline here. Some of the biggest moments this year came from new acquisitions. Not just the guys that you've been relying on. Yes, Victor Robles had some amazing plays here. He had the play, in my opinion, the play of the year here over in right field against the Astros to sweep them overall. Nice new border like that. Happy Thanksgiving. But you had these it proved that going out and getting assets at the deadline here is important. It is vital to making these postseason pushes here, and it proves Cal Raleigh even more right, because when he signed his extension, he said, "If you're gonna sign me long term, we need to be winners, and one of the ways how you're gonna prove it to me that you guys want to do this is by going and buying at the deadlines." And what happened the first year after the extension? Seattle was 3 innings away from making its very first ever World Series. 3 innings. And 1 bad decision away, which we're not going to talk about. I don't want to get angry about it again. So, with that being said here, Naylor, like you said, is not the regular archetype you think for a first baseman. He's not the regular archetype you would think even for a Mariner. But he fits everything that you need. He is a smart ball player. The clubhouse loves him. The fans love him. He is good at getting on base and getting over. Here, he knows how to situational play. He knows how to play great defense. It's weird. He makes easy plays look hard and makes hard plays look easy. Like, I don't know if you ever watched here. There was one I saw where there was a throw from Cal here, and it was on the inside, and he's basically falling down as he makes the catch. Here, and I'm like, that is impressive. And then you look back at it again, and I'm like, my guy, if he was just leaning over a little bit more, he would have had it. But no, that's, you know what? He makes the plays. And that's what I care about. Does he make the plays? One of the reasons why I still like saves as a stat is, did you get the win? In the end, it's the same kind of idea of, well, did you die? Here? No? Good. Here we are. Let's keep going.
Yeah, and also, I think this move signifies that there's not a sense of complacency here, because and this is the thing that drove me insane after the 2015 season with the Mets was that they made the World Series and then didn't really improve the roster. Heck, their NLCS MVP and playoff hero Daniel Murphy went and walked and signed with the Nationals. And they didn't really improve on the roster. I think the Mariners are showing here that, they're going to re-sign Naylor and then they're trying to build on this year, not just all right, let's just run it back. So, I think now they probably have to choose between Polanco and Suarez, which guy they're going to re-sign. And then I'm sure they're going to be aggressive on the trade market, trying to help the bullpen. Because really, I think that most of the roster probably will remain the same, but there are still moves that they need to make to sort of bolster their roster. But this is a great start. I think Jerry DePote is showing he's not messing around this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you can see with the Blue Jays, when you make the effort into your roster and you re-sign key pieces, they re-sign Vladdy, it brings the whole team together. And I think Seattle, you did that with Cal to start the season last year, and you do it with Naylor now. And whether you bring back Polanco or other pieces, when you re-up with those guys, Julio's on a long-term deal, that gives you a sense of security in that situation. You're not getting traded. The guy next to you is not getting traded, and that can really build momentum. And I always say, you can't win the World Series if you miss the playoffs. So being in the playoffs year in and year out, you have a shot.
Yeah. I want to add on one thing to what you said here, because you're exactly right. But there's one more big thing that re-signing a guy that's on your team does. It builds confidence in the team and the player to say, we like what you've done. We want you to keep being our guy here. And that is something that we have seen time and time and time again throughout baseball, because it really is a domino effect. It isn't just one player that signing affects. It is an entire organization, because you have all these people that work. Baseball is not a one-man game. It's not how it works. It's not football here where it's 53 men here, but again, there's the number one important with the quarterback. It's not tennis. It's not golf. Baseball is a 26-man game.
Absolutely. And a couple men were traded for each other this week. We will stay in the American League West for a little bit, but we also will take a trip near me to Baltimore. The Orioles trade Grayson Rodriguez to the Angels for Taylor Ward in I would call this a fantasy baseball trade. This doesn't make sense for either, to me at least. This doesn't make sense for either team. We complained all year. The Orioles need more pitching. And what do? They trade their most promising pitcher. What are we doing? And the Angels, honestly, I honestly hate defending the Angels because they make me look like an idiot more often than not. I remember I liked their moves to try to keep Ohtani in 2023. They went on a 10-game losing streak. I picked them to make the playoffs previously on the podcast. They haven't made the playoffs since 2014. So I don't know if I should zag and say I hate this move, but I'm just going to point out the facts that the Angels struggle to develop pitching. And Grayson Rodriguez, I'm not saying he's fully developed, but if he's half of his ability from his Baltimore days, he would be the best pitcher the Angels have had besides Shohei Ohtani in quite a long time. Even he didn't pitch last season, a 4.11 ERA with a 97 ERA plus for his career. Honestly, that might be the Angels all-star representative at this point. He's shown flashes. His FIP is a decent bit lower than his ERA. He is 20-8 as a starter. If you care about win-loss record, he strikes out over 9.5 batters per nine, doesn't walk too many guys, has a bit of a home run problem at times, got bombed in the playoffs, so no bueno there. But I like the move for the Angels. I don't know what the Orioles are doing. They have a logjam of outfielders and first base types, and you have a logjam at catcher. You're like really stuck. You have a logjam everywhere. And instead of, I don't know, relieving the logjam, instead of doing this trade in reverse and trading one of your 17 outfielders or your 14 infielders or your 4 catchers, instead of trading them for a pitcher, instead of adding a Grayson Rodriguez arm, you are letting Grayson Rodriguez walk. And he's a guy that is not a free agent until 2030. I know you have injury concerns. He's 26. He missed all of last season. I get that. However, he was a promising arm for a playoff-bound Orioles team twice over in 23 and 24. And the Orioles are like, oh, nope, we're good. And you're bringing in a player that I don't exactly know where he fits into the roster here. Ward's a good player, but he's also an impending free agent at the end of next season. And he's a solid player. He's been like a fringe all-star level type. He's above average the last few years, hit 36 home runs, drove in 100 runs last year, but I don't know if he's like a needle mover. I don't know if he's the reason the Orioles get off the cellar in the AL East.
Yeah, frankly, I don't quite get this. I actually really don't get this from an Orioles perspective. You already have some young outfielders in Colton Cowser and Dylan Beavers, and heck, potentially Samuel Basayo if they put him out there, or they put him at first base or whatever. But that's the thing; they have enough position player talent. I think their lineup can be objectively good next year. They don't necessarily need Taylor Ward on their roster. And they're so starved for pitching. Why in the world are you trading Grayson Rodriguez? I understand that G-Rod did not pitch at all this year. And I know he hasn't exactly lit the world on fire when he's healthy, but he showed great progress, I think, in 2024. His strikeouts are up, his walks are down, his ERA improved, his FIP improved. I think this is a promising young pitcher. He's only 26. The Angels will now have him, like you said, through 2030, if I'm not mistaken, or he's under control through 2029. But still, it's you're getting a young, controllable arm who has plenty of upside. And for I know there were like rumblings about maybe it's G-Rod's attitude or something, but that's the only reason it would make sense, because trading him for a rental bat who's on the wrong side of 32, this really just, it's not adding up in my head, unless maybe, and I highly doubt this is the case, they're getting Taylor Ward so they can flip him for someone else. That's the only way I can see this working out right now. They're either going to flip him in the offseason or they're going to flip him at the trade deadline. I am almost wondering if they're planning on keeping Taylor Ward.
Yeah, I can see that. I think when it comes to how I feel on this, I'm just confused. When I saw this, I just went, huh? I think that was a lot of people's collective reaction, though, because this trade didn't really make sense for either side here on it, where you have the Angels that, let's be honest here, are not really competing in the AL West right now with the Mariners, Astros, and Rangers here. And then you have the Orioles that, as we've made it abundantly clear, don't know what a pitcher is. And so you have to kind of figure out, okay, well, why is the team that needs offense here trading for a pitcher? And why is the team that needs a pitcher trading for offense? Like, it doesn't really make sense here. And I understand that Grayson Rodriguez hasn't, lived up fully to his hype. Here, has he been good though? Yeah, he has been. He's been all right. Here, but has he been what they thought he was going to be, where it's basically the pitcher version of Adley Rutschman? No. Like, he's been all right. That's kind of the best way to describe it. I could see this being one of a few things where it is either the Orioles are just giving up on him and saying, like, okay, look, let's go for someone that's at least a little bit more, let's say, what's the word for it, established here in Taylor Ward, and then try to move along, and then turning this into more of a full sell, or where, like Max said, flipping him and other pieces for maybe bigger prospects going forward. Or this is what I think is probably more accurate here. And again, I'm not going to say specious gamesmanship or anything. I think the Orioles think something is wrong with one Mr. Grayson Rodriguez here. And they're trying to capitalize off of, we don't know if we can fix what's wrong with you, so we're just going to get rid of you. Here, I'm not saying that they think that, he has an injury that he's not disclosing, because the physical will determine that. But I do think that they just feel they can't develop him. And so they're trying to maximize his value by making this kind of trade. Although, to be fair, even if that was what they were going for, they failed miserably at that, because this is, in my opinion, still a massive overpay. Trying to get, because again, I value Rodriguez more than I value Ward. I know Ward has had a good amount of success with the Angels. He's been an all-star, if I remember correctly, here at least once.
All-star snub.
He was an all-star snub. Okay,
he's gotten close.
Okay.
Yeah, he hasn't made one yet.
I'm thinking of someone else then, because I remember an all-star card in MLB The Show, but
Tyler Anderson, similar
name.
It
was definitely an outfielder. It's not Mike Trout, but I'll go back to it later. This trade just does not make a whole lot of sense for either side here. And Splash, I think you said it best here. This feels like a fantasy baseball trade. Like maybe in like some sort of dynasty league that has, this feels almost like a beer money trade. Like, all right, now you do this trade, now you get the next round or something like that.
Yeah, it's very strange, because I don't think it lines up, at least with the Orioles, I don't think it lines up with what they need. And the Angels, I could see the argument. Like I said, I don't like trusting the Angels because they love to burn me, but I just don't see this from a Orioles perspective, that you're trading your most talented pitcher, with all due respect to Trevor Rogers, your most talented pitcher, before he breaks out. This is, to me, not the time to trade him. Hasn't broken out yet. You probably could have gotten more if he had a couple extra seasons of being really, really good. If you had concerns you weren't going to re-sign him. And by the way, you have club control until 2029. So it's not like he's an impending free agent. Like I can understand the Angels moving off Taylor Ward. I guess I understand that.
I thought it was going to happen a long time ago.
Yeah, he's been an often mocked trade player. And the Angels, now their outfield rotation is pretty weak now. You lose your left fielder. You have Joe Adell and Mike Trout, and Jorge Soler is still on the roster, more of a DH type. So you have like 2.5 outfielders, and
Trout didn't even play the field after he got hurt.
Yeah, so if you want to, maybe you put Trout back in right, or you put him in left, or you have to pick between Trout and Soler. One of them has to DH, and one of them has to play the field if you're playing both of them. So your infield is kind of set. Neto and Chanuel and Moore will help you behind the plate, but the outfield is a little weak, but they're a team that you can be in that situation, and it's okay. You're a rebuilding team. You, in theory, have prospects coming up. I've talked at length about how the Angels are incapable of developing both hitters and pitchers because of the ballparks the Trash Pandas play in. They play in a really bad run environment, and then the Salt Lake City team, their AAA team, plays in an extremely high run environment. So there's no it's basically cores, right? So they essentially play at cores for AAA, and their AA team is essentially like a dead ball era ballpark. So you're not getting an accurate representation of their AA or AAA players. So when they get this reputation of Nolan Chanuel, we're going to draft you and you're going to play in the same year, or you're going to come up really fast. That's why they get that reputation, because AA players, AAA players, they can't properly develop. It would be like if I did podcasts on the moon. Well, that doesn't really help me if I'm trying to record a podcast on Earth.
You never know. It could work. I mean,
it's a very different conversation. But any last words on Taylor Ward, my bad, before we, at least it's not Tyler Wade. Any last words before we get into our gimmick of the day?
No, I think honestly,
let's get into it.
Next gimmick. I'm ready for this one.
All right.
It back.
Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Do 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 do. It's draft time, baby.
We really should have put that into like our soundboard.
I have it with a different employer, and I did not know how to get it over because I didn't put it into the other soundboard.
Oh,
unfortunately, so I don't know how to like find it. But I've used it before with a different employer.
Gotcha.
So
all right.
So this is a great time to check out the podcast. Check out the YouTube. Check us out so you can see our picks. Today we are doing a free agent draft. In this order: Splash, Mac, Alex. We will pick players and we will play matchmaker. So I can say I think Alex Bregman re-signs with the Red Sox. That is not my pick. I'm just saying that as an example. I will plug in Alex Bregman. I will plug in the Red Sox. Then Mac will go. If a scoring system, if you get the right team, you get 5 points. If you get the right division, you get 3 points. And if you get the right league, well, we'll give you a point. So there's that. I was going to ask who wants to go first, but I have the first selection, and I am going to go with a retention. I think a certain Edwin Diaz will be staying with the Mets.
Okay.
That was on. I had that one on my board.
Yeah, that was definitely on my board as well.
Yeah.
Okay. For this.
I will say,
this makes perfect sense.
I don't want to influence any future selections, but I do feel more confident in that than any of their other pinning free agents. But I guess going second, and it pains me to say this, but Kyle Tucker is going to sign with the Dodgers.
That was my pick.
Unfortunately, if you wouldn't believe it, the two-time defending champions could not get production out of their outfielders this year. So yeah, this unfortunately makes way too much sense.
It really does, and I absolutely hate it because you're right.
It hurts my soul.
Yeah. No, look again. I really don't want to hate the Dodgers, but like every year they are like the projected to get the best players, and it just hurts at that point too. So, all right, I will go next, and I am also going to go with a retention here. I think Pete Alonso stays in Queens. I think Pete Alonso resigns with the Mets.
All right.
I was good. I was alluding to it, but I feel way more confident that they retain Diaz than they do Alonso.
That's fair. Here, I just think overall that I think he's one of those guys where it's hard to imagine him in another jersey.
Oh yeah, I agree. It's just it seems more likely.
I understand.
Yeah.
Probably I'm not gonna say a waste of my first round pick, but honestly, to be fair, it's one I'm fairly confident in. I think there's a fair chance of that one here.
All right, Alex.
Take draft, so you're up again.
Yeah, I'm right back up again. And I'm going to kind of go out on a limb on this one here. So I know already, shock swerve here. I think that Jorge Polanco will not re-sign with Seattle.
Oh, okay.
Instead, he's going to go to a team that just lost production from their DH spot here, and he's going to sign with the Phillies. He's going to be their DH and sometimes second baseman.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's off the okay. I like the versatility.
All right, okay. I'm going to go with the retention. This seems it seems like the writing is on the wall here. Bo Bichette staying in Toronto.
Yeah.
I cannot see this guy leaving.
I really had thought about that.
So I really don't want to do another retention because that's boring. Let me think. There's some good free agents. I have another retention in mind, but he's not worth a second round pick. I think I can get him later in the draft. Could I go with a big splash?
You are Splash, and you are a big fan favorite.
Okay. Decisions. Am I stalling for time? Maybe.
You definitely are, but at the
All
same
right,
point
folks.
here, it's great.
I am going to make a little bit of a move here.
Oh boy.
I think we're going to get a central to central transition, not a trade, but a free agent signing. I'm going to go Framber Valdez to the Chicago Cubs.
Interesting.
With
Okay.
Shota Imanaga unlikely to return. Doesn't look like he's going to return.
He accepted the qualifying offer.
Okay. So that means he can still be approached by other teams still, correct?
No.
Oh,
no, he accepted the offer.
Oh, so he's just back in Chicago?
He's just back, for one more year.
Okay. Probably should have thought that through a little bit more, but Framber Valdez, let's go to Wrigleyville. I think his ground ball profile works well with an elite infield defense with Nico and Dansby. And you have at Wrigley, the wind plays a big role. This is why, say, Imanaga has his struggles at times, that he allows a lot of fly balls. Well, Valdez will not have that problem. He will keep the ball on the ground. He will let the defensive vacuum cleaners do their work, and he will continue to do that. So I'm going to go with a second retention here. I'm also, in the off chance that he joins a division rival, I will take my 3 points there. Hopefully it's the Braves. Kyle Schwarber, I think he stays in Philadelphia.
Interesting.
MVP runner-up.
Yeah, I agree here.
The big power. He just is just so much Philly. It's second only to Bryce Harper. It's when you think Philly, you think Schwarber, you think the 488-foot homer against San Diego, all the playoff success, the 4-homer game, the 50 homers this season, all the leadoff homers in the past. I know he doesn't bat leadoff anymore, but Kyle Schwarber stays in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I honestly, it's just a guy kind of like, what's his name, Naylor, where it's not his original team, but it just feels like he's meant to be there. Fans love him. He seems to really embrace the city. So
I will say, I personally had him going to another place here, but
I also had another team on my radar, and it's one of his old teams, the Red Sox.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah,
also back to the Sox.
Well, anyway, I'm gonna go sticking with your sort of idea, Splash, here. When it comes to the pitching market, I have Michael King, and I have him going to the Cubs. I was in between. I actually had Valdez going to a different team, and I had King going to the Cubs. They desperately need pitching. Respectfully to Matthew Boyd and Cade Horton and Jameson Taillon and Shota Imanaga, none of those guys are really front end guys. I feel like, Michael King, I think, can be a front end guy as long as he stays healthy next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that absolutely tracks here. All right, I'm
baseball,
huh? I'm gonna do one that's kind of a joke, kind of not at the same time.
Great
here. But this is actually going to be my third round pick here. I'm going Justin Verlander, as he is going to sign a retirement deal with the Tigers. Here, I think it's very possible that he does either announce his retirement, signs the 1-day contract, or does the retirement tour thing. Here,
that's one I had on my board too.
Okay, but I'm glad I don't justify it too far. Around that, because I'm looking at the list here, there's a lot of very interesting names that are free agents this year, but it's man, where do you even put some of these guys here? There's still a lot of top names too. And I think I'm gonna go here with another outfielder here, my first outfielder here, and we're gonna go with one Cody Bellinger. And again, tell me if you've heard this one before here, but a team that needs outfield help here, that would like to see a reunion here. Maybe they lost out on Kyle Tucker. I'm saying he has a reunion with the Dodgers.
That would be crazy.
Here's the thing, right? Think about this for just a second, right? When Cody Bellinger left the Dodgers, he was in shambles, right? Yeah. He was just it was bad. But before that, was an amazing, amazing player, and now he's really found himself again here. I think that either one of two things happens with Cody B. He sticks with the Cubs or goes back to the Dodgers. No, I say he goes back to the
goes back to the Cubs or goes back to the Dodgers.
That's what I meant. Goes back to the Cubs. Sorry, I misspoke.
Gotcha.
My apologies.
Okay.
And I think that the Dodgers would be willing to spend more money on him because they are the Dodgers.
Interesting.
Interesting. Because I mean, personally,
I did have Cody Bellinger as Dodgers, not Cubs, by the way. Smosh.
Realistically, what?
I had Cody Bellinger going back to the Dodgers.
He said Dodgers.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then you said Cubs. Okay.
I said those were the two I was going behind, but I said I was selecting the Dodgers.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All good.
Because I could see. I mean, personally, I think he probably re-ups with the Yankees, but it's possible. I mean, we'll see. I'll go back. I'm going to go with another pitcher. I feel like it only makes sense that the Orioles sign a guy after trading G-Rod. I'm going to give them Ranger Suarez.
That was on my board.
It makes too much sense, but at the same time, the Orioles tend to not make a lot of sense. But yeah, I think Suarez doesn't have to move too far, Philly to Baltimore. He'd fit in well at the top of the rotation.
All right. Sounds good to me. I'm going to stay in the American League East. I am going to take a different pitcher. I'm going to put Dylan Cease on the Boston Red Sox.
Ooh.
Another White Sox to Red Sox transition with a stop in between. So Chris Sale, Garrett Crochet, Dylan Cease joins the club. So Lucas Giolito did not work out. Boston needs that secondary arm, and I think Cease, at his best, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. But I think the best spot for Cease would be the number 2, like the Robin to someone else's Batman. And one of the few pitchers in Major League Baseball better than Dylan Cease is Garrett Crochet. So I like them to build up their rotation and get back to deep October playoff runs. And I'm going to go with a homer pick. I think the Braves will retain Ha-Seong Kim. He was really good at shortstop. Maybe not as good as Nick Allen, because Nick Allen probably would have won the Gold Glove had he played more time. But I thought Kim played pretty well. Remember, he was injured to start the season. He was not very good at all with Tampa. He hit .214. And he comes over to Atlanta, integrating into a new spot, and he was fine. A 93 OPS plus isn't anything special. It was a lot better than Nick Allen. That was what the important thing is. He's good enough defensively, as a Gold Glove in his past, and I think getting back to playing everyday shortstop, and he has the versatility to play other positions. So this doesn't necessarily lock you into your shortstop of the future, if you will. You can still move pieces around. You can, if Ozzie Albies, breaks a finger for the 5th year in a row, Kim can play second, and you can have a different player play shortstop. If Austin Riley goes on the IL for the 8th year in a row, Kim can play third base, and you can bring up one of your hot prospects. I think the shortstop prospect I'm thinking of, I think, is in low A, so that might not be next year. But I think this is a solid retention move. A good player in the past who got injured and really struggled in Tampa this year. He was better in Atlanta. He walks. I love middle infielders who walk. Sorry, Ozzie Albies. 8% walk rate this year. The last 2 years it's been 12%. So I'm excited. Keep that in Atlanta. So Mac, who is your last selection?
Yeah, I guess this is somewhat of a homer pick. Going Devin Williams. Going to try to bounce back in Flushing. His former GM is David Stearns. So I feel like, first of all, I don't think Williams is nearly as bad as he showed last year. His FIP was basically half of what his ERA was. He still was a high strikeout guy. He even walked fewer batters. I think that they're going to try to pair him with Edwin Diaz at the back end of the bullpen. And really, I think if it's Williams and Diaz, it's good for the back end of the bullpen. If it's just Williams, I'm a little scared. But the Mets desperately need to fix that bullpen, which was an absolute disaster down the stretch this year. So I think David Stearns and Devin Williams reunite, and he signs a multi-year deal in Flushing.
Yeah, I could absolutely see. I was definitely considering Devin Williams for a few different teams here. And I really wanted to go with a homer pick at the end here. I wanted to say, Seattle gets this big thing. But as I was looking at the free agents here, there wasn't one that really stuck out to me besides saying Gino. But even then, I don't personally think they should. Here, I like Gino. I love Gino Suarez. I absolutely love the man. But I also think the money could better be allocated in other places, especially with Ben Williamson here, right there in AAA. So I'm not going to do a homer pick. I'm going to go with probably what is the most safe pick I probably can do here. And that is that Andrew McCutchen is going to play another year of baseball for the Pirates.
Yep.
Okay.
And he's just going to keep this retirement tour going on forever at this point here. And because at this point right now, right, he's basically getting paid for just being the name. Let's be honest here. Yes, Eric McCutcheon is doing quite well. No, even last year, he still played all right. Not amazingly, but you know what? He played right on par with the rest of the Pirates. Were not named Paul Skeens. So
I mean, he did have a 95 OPS plus.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what you want from your DH, but given the state of the Pirates organization, a 333 on base works perfectly fine.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I mean, if I was gonna do a homer pick, because honestly, what I really wanted to say was Robert Suarez goes to Seattle, but that would be a lot of fun. But I don't think Seattle's gonna shell out for another setup man, because Robert Suarez should be a closer somewhere, and
he'll probably sign to be a closer somewhere. Yeah,
he's gonna be a closer. He's not gonna sign somewhere to be a setup man.
Yeah, probably Dodgers.
Yeah, probably Dodgers to be.
There's some reliever that's gonna
I have a
replace
circle for the
Iglesias
Angels
for Atlanta.
Really?
I just don't know who it's going to be, though.
That's fair.
That's why I didn't make any reliever to Atlanta picks. But here's our draft. I'll recap. So I have Edwin Diaz re-signing with the Mets, Framber Valdez signing with the Cubs, Kyle Schwarber re-upping with the Phillies, Dylan Cease going to Boston, and Hassan Kim going to Atlanta, or staying in Atlanta. Mac has Kyle Tucker joining the Evil Empire in Los Angeles. He has Bo Bichette staying in Toronto. He has Michael King joining the Cubs, Ranger Suarez joining the Orioles, and Devin Williams taking the subway to join the Mets. Alex has Pete Alonso staying in New York. He has Jorge Polanco going from Seattle to Philadelphia. He has Justin Verlander making a homecoming to Detroit, Cody Bellinger going back to the Dodgers, and Andrew McCutchen staying with the Pirates. All right, fellas. What's one player who's the most confident pick you have? Your first pick, I would imagine.
Yeah.
For me, no, just because I feel like to me it should be obvious, but I don't. But I don't know. The more Mac talks about it, the less confident I feel in it.
I'll say this much: I don't think there's many suitors for Alonso as people think.
Yeah.
But really, to me, it's either the Mets or the Red Sox. So like there's still a chance that I think there's still a decent chance he comes back to the Mets.
May I say something bold here?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, the reason why I think a lot of people are as scary on it is that people still are scared of Chris Davis.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing is that he's about to turn 31. He said he wants a 7-year deal. I wouldn't give him a 7-year deal.
Yeah, no,
I wouldn't give him more than 4, honestly.
Yeah, no.
He's also going to be more of a DH going forward because he's not a good defensive first baseman.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
So yeah, and I don't think David Stearns wants to commit to that type of player.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's
a lot of teams don't want to commit to that kind of player.
I think so with Stearns. There's a chance he stays because he's such a Mets legend, and it's the sort of thing that if he hits 400, 500 home runs, and it's all as a Met, that I think boosts his Hall of Fame candidacy. Although I am a 500 home run and in guy, just as a concept. Yeah. But like a Mets lifer, there
aren't a lot of those.
Yeah, who's the Mets position player lifer? Like you've said,
David
Ed Kranepool has the most games played as a Met. Like I think Alonso
right in Kranepool.
So, like, Alonso makes a lot of sense to be at the top of that list. He's already at the top of the home run list. It makes sense that he's going to just set all the Mets records, at least until Juan Soto comes around at the end of his career. So that, to me, it just makes sense. Mm-hmm. Now, Stearns throws a wrench into it because of the approach. And do you want to lock up a first baseman? And not to compare him to other guys that have played for the Braves, Matt Olson is a excellent defensive first baseman.
Yeah, that's
Freddie Freeman does not have the power profile. His profile is projected to age more gracefully, as we've seen. He's even older, and he's still, a competent or a comparable hitter to Alonso. it's just a different shape of the production, more doubles and walks and homers. But if you're a big homer, sometimes big strikeout guy, doesn't hit for a high average, and you're a bad defensive first baseman, I think David Stearns can have his qualms. I think any other GM in the history of the Mets, Alonso's probably already inked a lifetime deal. So
that makes sense.
All right.
Yeah, let's see it.
We move to trivia, and today we have another installment of the Alex versus Mac Cup.
Let's go.
Today,
it's like Max Cup is absolutely full. Mine just has a couple drops in it left.
it'd be like that. So this is a game that I've seen on TikTok before. I'm adapting it for our purposes. I have a list of 10 players. There are 2 all-star hitters from this season, 2 all-star pitchers, 2 players who have played for all 3 of our teams, 2 Hall of Fame position players, and 2 Hall of Fame pitchers. Both of you will get the same 10 players in a different order, and I will give you clues. You have to name the player as fast as you can. So I will give you the first clue, and in terms of number of clues. So I have 3 clues for each player. Okay. The first clue is 1 word. The second clue is 1 word. The third clue is 2 words. So you get 3 points if you get it right on the first clue, 2 points if you get it right on the second clue, 1 point on the third clue, and if you don't get it, you don't get it. So like I said, you'll have the same 10 players. It will be a different order. I'll randomize the order. Who would like to go first, or do we want to choose a number?
I mean, yeah, I think number would probably be the best. Otherwise, I could go first. But
okay, pick a number between 1 and 30.
24.
17.
Answer is 19. Mac, would you like to go first or second?
I'll go first.
All right, Alex, I would like you to step out of the chat. Remove your headphones, please. All right.
All right.
He's gone. Okay,
yeah, he's gone.
Thank you, Alex. Get a list randomizer up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. All right. Do you need any clarifications with the rules?
So you're just gonna read a couple clues, and that's.
Yep.
Okay. Perfect.
All right. Let me get a score sheet. Ready? All right. Your first player, your clue is 6'7".
Let me get one more clue. I think I know who it is. Aaron Judge.
Apo Taco.
Wait, what? Oh, oh my God, I'm so dumb. It's James Wood.
It is James Wood. That is 1 point for Mac. All right, let me. Oh, I did the score wrong. All right, there we go. All right, your second player is overrated.
Give me another clue. That could go for a lot. Shortstop?
Yes.
You said? Oh, Derek Jeter.
Yes, that is correct. That's
the dead giveaway.
Okay.
Okay.
That's too funny. Your next player, control.
Can I just take a guess here?
Yeah, you can.
Greg Maddux.
That is correct. 3 points.
Let's go.
All right. Your fourth player is smooth.
Next.
Yankee.
Smooth Yankee? Next player.
Second base.
Robinson Cano?
That is correct.
All right. I had a feeling that's who it was, but yes.
Robbie Cano, don't you know? All right. Tag.
Next player.
Slider.
Oh, I think I know this.
You can
Is
guess.
it Javi Baez?
Yes, it is Javi Baez.
Let's go.
And for clarification, you can guess. You don't like. You can guess each. You can guess with each clue. You don't have to.
Oh, okay.
You can. You don't have to wait for all of the clues.
Gotcha.
So if I say tag and you think, oh, Pudge Rodriguez, like that's fine.
Okay. Gotcha.
So no negatives for getting it wrong or anything.
Okay.
All right. Sixth player, 3,000.
Next.
Wall.
Wall?
Yes, Wall.
Next.
Humanitarian award.
Oh, Roberto Clemente?
Yes, that is correct. Okay. All right, your 7th player, retiring.
Retiring.
Or retired.
Charlie Morton.
Curveball.
What? Oh, Clayton Kershaw.
Yes.
Duh.
That was, and of course, if I was trying to go for Charlie Morton, those 2 clues would have made sense too.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, your 8th player, Cuban.
Cuban?
Yes, Cuban.
Next.
Lefty.
Cuban lefty. Okay. I should already have this, but I don't for some reason, so I'm gonna need one more.
Okay. Altuve homer.
Oh, Chapman. Aroldis
yes,
Chapman.
Aroldis Chapman. All right, your 9th player is Award.
Cy Young.
That is correct. There you go. Yeah. Nice. Great pull. All right. And then your last player, Knuckleball.
Aria Dickey.
That is correct.
Oh my God, no way.
Great pull. Great pull. All right. We can get Alex back in.
All right.
Alex, you are being summoned.
Hello.
All right. We had a very fun round. I will not disclose how many points Mac had.
Sounds good. I'm excited to see how this goes.
Don't know. There we go. All right. We have Mac's point total. I had the list randomized for you. Mac, you may stay in if you wish. Alex, are you ready?
Okay. Quick question here. So it's 2 all-star hitters, 2 all-star pitchers, 2 LAR players.
Yes.
Then 2 Hoff hitters and 2 Hoff pitchers. Do I need to will I know what it's going to be when you say this?
No.
Okay.
No. All right. And to clarify, because Mac and I discussed it, you can guess with each clue I give. So, for example, if I gave you Julio Rodriguez and I said center field, or the answer is Julio Rodriguez. I say center field, you say Byron Buxton. That's okay. You get more guesses. So then I would say Seattle, then you would say Julio Rodriguez. So that's fine. Good to go?
Yep, let's do this.
All right. Your first player, retiring or retired.
Retired/retiring. Here. There's a few players that have just retired. Michael A. Taylor?
Curveball.
Oh, Clayton Kershaw.
That is correct.
All right. Does that after I get it right, do you tell me which one of the categories that fits?
I can. 2025 All-Star pitcher.
Okay, there we go. Because I made a little list on my phone of all of those so I could keep track of what I'm doing. So
sure.
All right.
Okay. All right. Overrated.
Bryce Harper?
Shortstop.
Oh, there's some shade being thrown here. Trey Turner?
Mr. November.
Oh. Chase Utley.
The answer is Derek Jeter.
Oh, what the hell am I doing with my life? I heard October, sorry.
All good. All right.
All right, and that counts as Hall of Fame hitter, right?
Yes, Hall of Fame hitter. All right. Your third player. Smooth.
Oh, there's a lot of smooth players. I'm gonna say Carlos Santana.
Okay. Yankee.
Can I make the joke saying Anthony Volpe? But okay. No, no, smooth Yankee. Let's go with Aaron Judge.
Second base.
Who's their second baseman? Or is this an all-time second base? is it? Shoot. I feel like this should be obvious at this point. I'm just losing it here. Because I cannot think of it. I know he played at least one game at second base. I'm going Jorge Posada.
Okay, it's Robinson Cano, don't you know?
Oh, it is Robbie Cano. Okay, so that goes for LAR player.
Yes. All right. Your fourth player, Tag.
Okay. Tag. Javi Baez?
Yes, that is correct.
Let's go! I was trying. Honestly, it was just the Will Clark play.
Great pull. Great
Let's
pull.
go.
All right. Your fifth player, 3,000.
Ooh, okay. I'm guessing this is 3,000 hits. Although it could be 3,000 strikeouts. I'm gonna go Verlander for strikeouts.
Okay. Wall.
3,000 Wall. I'm gonna go Nolan Ryan.
All right. Humanitarian award.
That does not help much.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry, mate. Yeah, Roberto Clemente.
That is correct. Roberto
Let's go!
All right. Your sixth player, Knuckleball.
Okay. So this is where it's good to have this here because it's helping me try to figure out here. So the only categories that are left, we have both all-star hitters left, our all-star pitcher and LAR player, and 2 Hall of Fame pitchers. So I think by process of elimination here, because it can only be a LAR player or the Hall of Fame pitchers, because I don't believe there was an all-star knuckleballer this year. I am going to go with Phil Niekro.
Okay. Awarded.
Okay. I'm gonna go Tim Wakefield.
Mets Cy Young.
Oh, mother. It's all right, Dickie.
Yes, it is all right, Dickie.
Did he play for the Braves?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
If he didn't,
honestly,
then I have severely screwed up.
So that's the thing is that I didn't know he played for the Braves.
He pitched 10 games or 30. He started 1 year with the Braves. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Honestly, I did not know he played for the Braves. Otherwise, I would have said it earlier.
Yeah, that's okay. All right. Your seventh player is 6'7".
Josh Naylor.
No. Monument.
James Wood.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, I disrespect the use of those two numbers, but Washington Monument is what I thought of. So
yeah, he is 6'7".
That's fair. Makes sense.
All right, your eighth player, Control.
Okay, Control. Greg Maddux.
That is correct for 3.
Oh.
All right, your last two, Cuban.
Okay. Remind me what categories we still have left here, because I feel like I've accidentally not gotten rid of a couple.
Your topics left are All-Star pitcher and Hall of Fame pitcher.
Okay, so they're both pitchers now. All-Star pitcher and Hall of Fame pitcher. I'm gonna say, just for ease on this one here, I'm gonna say Framber Valdez.
Lefty. I don't know if Valdez is Cuban.
Oh, honestly, I don't know.
No, he's Dominican.
I really don't remember that many Cuban pitchers. Oh, what was? Oh, Valenzuela.
It is not. He's Mexican.
He's Mexican. Okay, yeah. I'm being real. I don't remember that.
Third clue: Altuve Homer.
Oh, Chapman, Aroldis Chapman.
Yes, Aroldis Chapman. All right, and your final player. Your clue is award.
Okay, award, and this is for now Hall of Fame pitcher.
Correct.
So award, Hall of Fame pitcher, Gaylord Perry.
No. Number 2, Unbreakable.
Oh. Is this Nolan Ryan?
It is not. And then the last one is 511 wins.
Oh. Cy Young.
That is correct. All right. Mac, welcome back.
All right.
All right, I could tell you were listening. I could see you're like nodding along, like with the "oh, good job" and the "oh, you idiots."
Pretty close game, pretty solid game. Alex, you took 2 zeros, which really kind of sunk your boat there early. But a pretty good game back and forth. Mac, you got the dub, 19-14. Good job.
Let's go.
Honestly, that's still a close game. We'll take those.
So Mac, you had 3 threes. Alex, you had 2 threes. So good job getting those early. So the players: Javi Baez, James Wood, Rawls Chapman, Clayton Kershaw, R.A. Dickey, Robinson Cano, Roberto Clemente, Derek Jeter, Greg Maddux, and Cy Young. So,
I will say, like, not figuring out Derek Jeter because I heard Mr. October instead November was an issue. But
it'd be like
well, my bad. Mac, I'm just very curious to know because I did not listen into yours. You listened into mine. Mm-hmm. Here, was there any one that you're like, you were surprised that I did, whether it be good or bad?
No. Was I surprised by anything you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised you didn't get Derek Jeter.
Yeah, that's fair. I said, I misheard. That was the one I looked at you and you did your trademark.
All right. Well,
for those
there's trivia.
Watch the podcast I just did in our movie. Make sure you go subscribe to us on YouTube at Losses Above Replacement here to see the motion that I just made.
Great.
All right. Well, there's trivia. You guys like that? We can
that was a lot of fun.
Let's do that. Let's do that again.
I'd love to do that again sometime.
We can run that back with different topics moving forward. But as we end every show, we have our moment to ourselves. Would someone like to go first? If not, I can.
I'd say go for it, then.
All right. Count me down.
All right. Your time begins in 3, 2, 1, begin.
Am I going to be the first person that defends Aaron Judge winning the American League MVP? I guess I am. So there are some really dumb narratives that I would like to dispel. First of all, the East Coast bias. The city of New York's voters were split on the Judge rally thing. There's even New Yorkers can't agree on it. And when you say East Coast bias, I want you to understand the Yankees are the most hated team in sports. Like that's their claim to fame, if you will. They are hated more than the Cowboys. They are hated more than Duke. They are hated more than Ohio State. Like, that is the cream of the crop in terms of everyone hates their guts. So when you look at the voting, it's, the East voters were split 50-50. The West voters were split 50-50. If Seattle fans want to cry and complain, talk to the teams in the Central Time Zone. You already are well adept at complaining about the Astros. Complain about their beat writers. Or complain about the writers that represented Houston because they voted 2-0 for Judge. Don't complain about the Yankees and don't complain about East Coast bias. And I think we kind of forgot how good Judge was. He had a 215 OPS plus. Here is the comprehensive list of righties with a higher OPS plus and more plate appearances in a season than 2025 Aaron Judge's 215. Here is the entire list. Last 100 years, the entire list. Are you ready for it? Are you ready? Are you ready? That's the list. It is arguably the greatest, besides, Judge did it earlier in his career. It is as good of a hitting season we've ever seen from a right-handed hitter. So we talk about the Cal records. We talk about the Seattle home run record, which would not have been the Yankees home run record. So East Coast bias, he gets a boost for being a part of a team that is the Mariners, not the Yankees. So throwing that out there. The switch hitter home run record, absolutely. The catcher home run record, absolutely. Well, what if I told you that Aaron Judge hit? I think both of them had awesome seasons. I think both of them win the MVP, 9 out of 10 times. And unfortunately for Cal, it's second place this year. Unfortunately for Bobby Witt, he was second place last year. Unfortunately for Francisco Lindor, he was second place last year. At a certain point, sometimes you just happen to play with one of the greatest players who has ever played Major League Baseball. So Cal, maybe next year, sorry, you got You got 13 votes. That was honestly a couple more than I thought you would. Judge, another phenomenal season. He's a no doubt Hall of Famer to me, even if he retired tomorrow. Just a once in a generation player, quite literally. Like, he is doing things we haven't seen since Barry Bonds. He is doing things we haven't seen a clean player do since early, like, Pirates Barry Bonds. But like, the hitting is Mickey Mantle, like Ted Williams, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig. Those are the names he's up there with. Like, that is some special stuff. So, Aaron Judge, congratulations. A 3-time MVP now.
Yeah, we're gonna disagree on this one there, Chief. I understand, though. One thing real quick before we keep going further here, a little bit of breaking news here out of Atlanta. Here, as the Braves just re-signed Raisel Iglesias for another year.
Iggy, let's go, Iggy.
One year, $16 million on our on my board. I had him going to the Dodgers, being straight up. So
Iggy. Okay,
but but the other one I was considering was him going back to the Braves. So
yeah. And let me tell you, Iglesias was horrendous for like 2.5 months. Then after that, he was unbelievable.
Yeah,
he had one bad outing against the Yankees, allowed a grand slam, and that was all of his earned, like 4 out of his 5 earned runs for 3.5 months. So he's just been a spectacular player with the Braves. So, Alex or Mac, you may go next.
All right, I guess I'll go.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
I'm gonna go back to something I talked about a while ago, and that is make sure you take your mental health seriously, especially in holiday season. Here, it's a stressful time for a lot of people. Here, as the weather gets colder, the lights go out earlier. Here, it's hard to focus on yourself at times. Here, and I'm not saying that you need to be selfish or you need to cut everyone else out to focus on you. What I'm saying is just make sure you give yourself the credit you deserve. Give yourself the credit you need and the time that you need. Here, I know that I've been struggling a lot with my own mental health over the last few weeks. Here, I had a lot of stuff going on in my life, and now as we get into the holiday season, it just feels like it gets amplified a little bit more. So please, if anything, just do anything you can to make sure that you can stay healthy. Make sure you do what you can to make sure that you are going to be safe going forward. If you want to improve on yourself, fantastic. If you want to just kind of stay the way that you are, that's fine. Just we don't want people getting worse here in this. There's only one of you out there. I'd really like to not lose that. Think about this in baseball cards here, right? There are some cards that are extremely valuable that are called one-of-ones. Here, those are the ones that are usually worth the most here. I aspire to get a one-of-one myself. Here, you are a one-of-one. I don't know who needs to hear that, but if you ever feel like you're just kind of lost in the ocean somewhere, you're just buried 6 feet under here, remember that you are the one of one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
There's always a purpose. There's always a point. If you don't know what it is today, that's okay. Maybe you'll find it in the morning. All right, Mac, you good to go?
Yeah, sure.
All right, 3, 2, 1, begin.
Yeah, like I said at the top of the show, I'm competing this weekend, which I do there's a meet every Sunday before Thanksgiving. Not really entering with a ton of expectations, kind of just going to train through things, but we have 25 people signed up for this weekend, which frankly never happens really. Normally we get, we could get up to 20, 18 or so. But I'm pleased to see that we're participating this year. 25 people is a big number. Hopefully everyone shows up. But yeah, just looking forward to the weekend, and then Thanksgiving after that. It's fun times right now.
Good luck on your races, man.
Thank you.
Good time.
Get a dub for the LAR crew.
Oh yeah, I'll do my best.
When you get the dub and you're interviewed on the podium here, you need to shout out LAR. Otherwise, we will find you.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
We have a particular set of skills.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good at the show sometimes. Here, Splash
Sometimes.
is good at ML. Zach is good at Power Pros, and Mac can swim.
Yeah.
I throw heat also though.
Yeah, your
Trifecta.
heat. I've seen your heat. Your heat's more like a microwave on low power.
I don't know about that. I think it's a pretty. It's about a 1200 watt.
12. I mean your heat's closer to an easy bake oven than an actual oven. So
I don't know about that.
Okay, I did use the 50% power function on my microwave for the first time the other day. I don't know if it changed anything. I watched this guy on YouTube, and he's like, well, if you aren't using your microwave's other functions, you're not doing it right. So I'm like, okay, when I make soup, I'm going to put it on 50% for 3 minutes or whatever. So I don't know if it did anything.
You can either go at 100% for 3 minutes or 50% for 6 minutes and see what happens there.
Yeah, well, who
Spoiler
knows?
alert, it'll probably still be cold.
It might blow up, actually.
It might blow up. Exactly.
All right. Well, anyways, that'll do it for Losses Above Replacement episode somewhere in the hundreds. Congratulations, fellas. You can follow us on Twitter at LAR_baseball, Instagram, LAR_baseball, YouTube, Losses Above Replacement. We have a podcast. Hopefully you're listening to it. Shocker.
Wait, we have a podcast?
Wait, what?
Yeah, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We have a YouTube playlist. Wherever you get your podcast. So tell a friend, tell a family member you're getting together for Thanksgiving anyways. When you talk about baseball, you can't talk baseball without LAR. Remember, baseball is spelled with LAR. I don't know where the R is, but
it's in there somewhere.
Yeah, it's in there somewhere.
The R is in like the Beezer ball, right? Isn't that what it is from like the bats from Beezers
or Major League Baseball? There's the R.
Yeah, exactly. Major League Baseball. There you go.
Yeah. That has all three. That has all three of the letters in there too.
Yeah, Major League Baseball. Perfect.
Boom. That's that. LAR is just a really weird acronym for Major League Baseball.
It's a different language. It's Esperanto. Well, for all of us at Losses Above Replacement, hopefully you have a nice day, nice weekend, nice holiday season. Toodaloos. And Rise of Iglesias is back, baby. Let's go.